The regeneration culture hidden in plain sight, but humans die in disease. My friend, this is the hammer that pounds at the heart. It is a violent force. From eons past, even to this day, those that came from the heavens to this earth ever brought the wisdom to the demon-possessed humans living here in purgatory. They offered them ways to purify the ailing body which was corrupted in awful times when celestial demons performed miscegenations upon their bodies, making the soul of the being incompatible with the body of the being. No more did a man have those hundreds of years of youth so that he could learn more about or upon the mundane plane and carry forward the light into new darkness. Everything for a corrupted being becomes difficult. Unlike healthy beings, he will know right and still do wrong because of evil feelings that overrides his good will. Those higher lights, in their empathic kindness, brought to curse the humans a culture of baptism for the regeneration of his human form and to remove the poison and foul diseases. They taught him the sevenfold peace as 7 orders of the day. They taught him a threefold peace in body, soul, and mind. And these teachers lived among them as mystic, traveling between dimensions, disappearing and appearing as they were needed most. Many humans ascended by this form, and many learned the way of the stars, and even some that live long lives. Many departed this realm for the joys of wider experiences. But the day that the teachers and light bringers were silent, anarchists stole and changed the script until the truth was so indiscernible that it became a lie. Then they fed to the bodies of men the abominable things that they wanted man to become. You are what you eat. They fed to the minds of men the abominable thoughts to define by. Your thought becomes your spirit. As a soul, it means that you are a singular form. You are responsible for coming to your light, not for joining everything that others do, seeking out the peace by finding easy way and expecting your spiritual success. You seek for easy ways, you don't seek for the right way, but you expect spiritual success. Churches have nothing to do with being gatekeepers of a regeneration or baptismal process. In phases like first month, 3 months, 3 years, 7 years completion. This is what these regeneration processes are. We are not a 3-second or 1-second baptismal ritual or water splashed on the forehead of a child. Churches have nothing to do with being gatekeepers of a regeneration or baptismal process. Every individual can by himself do a regeneration process. There is a great and discernible success at every phase, and the results are so powerful that you would dare not turn back. Even at the very first month, every individual, regardless of how he worships, how he connects, or what he believes in, will do well adhering to the regeneration process. It is a 7-year purification, and at the end of that 7 years, because in 7 years your body completely regenerates. There is one 3-year phase, and then the ultimate phase is 7 years. The body is completely reborn, and the pure ways are maintained forever. The human has regained his higher form of man and will not tolerate things that are lowering the self. This is the result. The result is that the human has regained his higher form of man and will not tolerate things that are lowering the self. Even his taste for food changes, which means that he will not even notice temptations by which to stray. This is why Jesus said that once you find this light, you will never go back to the impure ways. You will never return to the state of purgatory. You will never see disease, and you will never regret doing it. You will come face to face with your eternal being, and you will know God in the same way you know mankind. Neither will you be any more confused about questions of life or death, or about how this thing is that will be or that will become. The regeneration process, now hidden and corrupted as the mockery of baptism, will first bring you a threefold peace. After that, you will receive a sevenfold peace. Then you become one with the all. At that point, you will stop being confused with all the many laws and commandments. These many laws are for possessed humans that lack love and understanding. Gradually, as you gain higher vision, you come down to seeing only three laws, and you will feel like the angels for you. You will feel like the angels for you come to that place from whence the light is cast through the crystal of life, bringing the effect of all causes, a light that brings reality. The effect of causes is shine through the crystal of light, and at this point you will be there to see it. You will be like the angel. You speak the words even before the event. Then again, you come to the higher understanding where there is only one law, the law of love, and there you know God, intimately knowing God. At that point, there is no turning back. You are completely into the light, a son of light, a son of God, at the zenith of the shining sun, and it will be so good to be there. The simple meaning of the word baptism, which I offer you by common sense, is regeneration. I don't care what the humans say, but this is what I know. However, since many will rather to contradict in order to refuse the truth and stay inside their comfort zones, you have dictionaries and you have Google. Yet, if you go and try to tell me of another meaning, I will stand adamant in the truth of what I tell you. I only tell you the truth. Baptism is simply to regenerate, to be born again, to be starting at the new beginning going forward. Only that. For Christianity, it is a mere pretending ritual. It is a mockery that mocks the truth about regeneration, because they make you only lazy that you will not do it, but you expect the result. There was no real regeneration, and there was no new beginning in your doctrine, in your way of life, in your religion. It is mockery. It is of the devil. It was nothing but a form of mockery in the face of God, where in order to stop a man from dying of hunger, you give him food and then sew his mouth shut. Ask those that are Christians, how did you regenerate? What does it mean to regenerate? It is hard to see the world around you collapsing. We have been raining down this fire upon your world for years now, but it was not intense that you would notice. But this destruction of your world is only starting. We are just getting ready to rain fire. So you better get used to the shifting of the paradigm, and that the new world order you expect will not be the one that prevails. It is a new world coming. And if you cannot regenerate, you will not survive it. Sickness in mind, sickness in the soul, and sickness in the body will bear you a ticket to hell. Many hate the voice of truth. Others hate the tone of reason because of their diseased spirits not being comfortable without the easy and evil doctrines. It is like expecting to receive by doing nothing as opposed to receiving by due diligence, consisting of so much suffering. The suffering they pile upon those that speak. We speak raw truth without expecting that offense was taken, because we are not in the game of ego and one-upmanship. If it were the raw truth, then it is light and not offense. Raw truth is clearer than dressed up truth. If you were baptized, if even one Christian was baptized, this person would be explaining the truth instead of being a confused, condemning devil fighting against the light to put it out of God for annoying him or for giving him arduous spiritual work to do. Come to this threefold peace. Regenerate like you said that John the Baptist taught you, as you claim Jesus had taught you, but you do a lazy ritual and never do you attain to the 7-year task of baptism. You hide the light beneath the bushel and then stroll around like a peacock saying you have done well. Never do you regenerate to the wholesome mankind from this bloody vampire human being so that you can get close to the divine and stop calling for blood. But you think the impure thoughts that becomes your spirit being, and do you eat the impure food that becomes your body, and then these pollutions you raise to the living God saying, Lord, here is my sacrifice. I did good for you. Let me come near you with the stink of death inside of me. I tell you the obvious truth, but many contradict it. How can you sit at the root of an overladen coconut tree contradicting the farmer that tells you it has water in it? You do this every time. We speak and you don't listen. We love but you will hate. You hate us as if the messenger was the perpetrator. God and perpetual motion is in effect. I cannot change the reality for you, and neither would I want to do that. Your world is broken and you must leave your comfort zones. Hello again, my beloved one. Skywalker here. I went up to the cosmic to see the far regions below, and this treasure I bring today. This food purifies and regenerates. New tissues will grow. Old men become young and dance around as nimble-footed. It is the truth about your baptism, the one your churches have kept denying you while they watch how sick you become, telling you to pay money to them and God will heal you. In all religious forms from the eons, the first lessons start were always regeneration processes, which today you refer to as baptism to disguise and make them mockery. Never would you enter these cultures that were divine ways of life with our first attaining to the regenerative processes of purification. And there were the times when men lived for hundreds of years and died without pain. When they were weary of this life, they died knowing exactly their paths to the stars and into the bosom of the Most High. They all went with a smile. Today, in your corrupted frame, you walk bearing the abomination and saying that you regenerated, although you call it being baptized, but you are sick. You are diseased. You are not baptized. If you were, you could not tolerate foul beliefs, foul doctrines, and foul ways. You are baptized into vampirism, arrogance, and hate. I have said these perfect words that now you know you cannot contradict them. Truths are unquestionable. This is why they are truths. If you were baptized, you would understand the path to the zenith of the sun, and you would understand the way of every Christ of God. You would become the Christ of God. But now you condemn each other in your dark spirit, saying you think you are God, you pretend to be Jesus, and you blaspheme, for you get confused by every paradox. You get confused by every paradox, and you get confused by every paradox, not having the faculty to reason like the living person, but you conceive only the understanding of the dead. You wait for the purest God to come for you because you'd rather be too lazy to go to him. He has given you the way. He will not come. You have been so long in this purgatory. 4.5 million years will be completed after the next phase for some of you. It is the eternity that you can choose again. Nothing is wrong with a lazy choice, for every good has its place and every evil has its place, as God's perpetual motion knows exactly how to accommodate all. I speak to you on this day at a respite period. A respite period. Many now have the opportunity to rise to the threshold of paradise. I am not speaking confusion. As soon as you see this truth, you will know. I have no doubt that everyone who sees this already knows that I just told the truth. I cannot speak to your comfort zone. If you think that life is hard to do, then you should have known mine. But I chose the ascendancy. It was worth all the things that were lost. I would not turn stones into bread for temporal illusions. If you have watched this video so far, I would love for you to like, share, to subscribe, and support the movement. A lion looks over his pride, and he adores the young cubs, but the young males leave to go out on their own. Then one says, I am the father. The other says, you are not the father. That is blasphemous. And even when the father dies years later, the docile one keeps telling the young lion that he cannot be the father. But even that very time, that young lion had his own pride that was bigger than his ancestors. And he was looking over his pride, and he was watching the young cubs go out to build their own, with the docile one, the imbecile, telling his strong young proud brother that he could never be the father. How long will these cycles of the ignorance prevail? We come with fire and we burn with glee. Truth is not as acceptable as folly to many, so those that speak the truth are not as supported as the TD Jakes of this earth. We prevail against the adversities. The narrow way to the threshold of wonderful tomorrow is not a broad highway, and this is why the solitary souls alone will get there. This is why you will be many times isolated. They teach you in the farm that you must expect to be up on a broad highway. The broad highway leads to the dungeons, so now you feel happy in your security of numbers because the truth speakers are only a few. Tomorrow the tone will be different. No fire, but deceit is on your tongues, but we have the fire. Baptism, our regeneration cultures begin by purifying your body, even using the power of the angels of air, light, and water. The power of the angels of air, the powers of the angels of light, and the power of the angel of water. Even visiting the angel of peace and learning the various sevenfold and threefold peace, these only bring you to the one peace, the one light, and the one God. This only brings you to the impermeable goodness, the impermeable beauty, and the impermeable truth. This is where you come inside of God, and God is in you. This is where you come into the all and look around the great expanse of your own eternal being. The great expanse of your own eternal being. You look and you see no beginning nor ending of days in your life. No beginning nor ending of days in your life. You look and see that even time is no more. You look around and find your being as sourced with the ultimate God force, and you become all love. You become light. You become eternal joy and peace. You are regenerated. And this is why heaven took you in. My friend, your journey begins. And now you proceed as fearlessness. Beautiful, fearless love and light you are. Peace out.